DMV.
Oh, there you go. And well, Hannah Hidalgo, so much on her shoulders, listed as only 5'6". And Maddie Westbeld, I know you've been really impressed with what she's done this year.
I am. I just feel like she's smooth. She's calm. She's under control. And it's probably good for them to see her get off to a good start with a breakaway layup.
There is a moving screen and a foul called right off the bat against King, the player they can least afford to have in foul trouble. The Pitt starting five, including Marley Washington, pardon me, who was one of the returners. Her numbers up from last year as well, a very gritty player. But here's Hidalgo running the show as a true freshman.
We talk so much about Hidalgo's defense and her steals because it's impressive, but what I'm really impressed by is her ability to get over and navigate ball screens. So Pitt is going to have to do a good job at really setting good screens and getting set.
Yeah, head coach Niele Ivey has been very impressed at how quickly Hidalgo has picked things up. There's another Pitt turnover. And Niele Ivey now in her fourth season in charge at Notre Dame, coach of the year in the ACC last year, and won a national championship as a senior in 2001 with Muffet McGraw as the head coach in her hometown of St. Louis. And she was a terrific point guard herself. She and Hannah Hidalgo have film sessions, and looks like Westbeld with point of emphasis early.
Yeah, you know, get them going inside. You know, I feel like already on the defensive end, they've asserted themselves, which is what they do. They've, you know, started off forcing Pitt into 2 turnovers. So, I mean, Notre Dame definitely got to be happy with how they started the game.
Yeah, Notre Dame's turnovers were really bad against Syracuse when they lost on the road in their last game. 24 turnovers turned into 30 Syracuse points. And Coach Ivey gives a lot of credit to Syracuse, but also cleaned up some things in practice. Turnaround jumper is off the mark, and here's Hidalgo with the ball in her hands. Hidalgo second on this team in rebounding. Only behind Westbeld. Good collapse inside as Kylie Watson is surrounded. Alternate possession gets the ball to the Panthers. Watson, Oregon transfer, her points per game, a career high 7.5. Niele Ivey asking just for a little bit more from each player as they contribute, and boy, they're hoping to get Citron back. Certainly not going to play tonight, but they're hoping she will be back soon.
She was off to a hot start this season before going out, so it'll be nice for them to have another primary scorer back on the floor.
Absolutely. Citron just played the first 3 games. Prosper has played the first 5 before she was out, and didn't take long. And what do you think about that fiery finish and personality from Hidalgo?
I love it. I feel like you know, in my research, I saw that the team kind of feeds off that swag from her, that competitiveness, and I think it's fun to watch. It's exciting.
And then Hidalgo with the defense. Westbeld, great hustle to keep it in bounds. Here's Anna DeWolf, a Fordham transfer. Hidalgo 2 in a row. Yes, what a start for the Irish. Hidalgo with 2 quick threes, and it's 10-zip.
And we talked to Coach Verdi earlier today about being able to control the pace and the tempo of this game, but Hidalgo with another steal and a layup. I think a timeout is coming.
And you are correct. Very prescient there, Duke graduate, and that's what Hidalgo does, right? Just takes the ball in the open court and torches you.
Yeah, I mean, she's so good. Here you see her scoring the ball, shooting another 3. She has 2 of them, but she's also doing what she does on the defensive end. Notre Dame is off to a strong start, and we have a good one here in Pittsburgh.
Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Cathedral of Learning building here on the campus of Pitt, the tallest educational building in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so far we're getting an education on how good Notre Dame is, especially, Jazz Thomas, with missing these players.
I know, it's honestly unreal. Like, they are having a great season, and they, you know, here already showing after coming off of a loss how they can respond, and they're missing All-Americans.
Yeah, Miles and Citron are amazing. Prosper gives them a good inside presence. Emma Rich, the true freshman, actually had hip surgery today. She had been sidelined since early December, had played just a few minutes a game. There's Prosper, the kid from Montreal, but again, Coach Ivey just wanting a little bit more from everybody, and And she admitted that she didn't think that Hidalgo would be this good this early and has been very impressed with her poise.
Yeah, and I even noticed it just in watching the film, like from the start of the season to now, just her decision-making and being more steady with the ball and not jumping in the air before making decisions. She's a lot more solid with the ball than she started off with, and she still has room to get even better.
Yeah, that's the scary part. She was a true freshman, played in high school last year. Hidalgo picked up her first personal foul. Pitt, this is their 7th possession so far, 3 missed shots and 3 turnovers. There's King. Yes, she's got to do that if they want to stay anywhere close in this game. Averaging career highs in points, rebounds, just about everything all the way down the block.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to have to get King going. And as the game settles, that pressure from Notre Dame is not going to slow down. So they're going to have to be able to take care of the ball, Pitt, and really execute their offense and get King to good spots.
Clogging things up now and left wide open. DeWolf for the 3, and with that shot, Anna DeWolf now has 2,000 career points, the vast majority at Fordham, and gets that 3 here for the Irish. Westbeld able to get a hand, and you see DeWolf known for her hustle.
I love the hustle, but probably should have let that one go.
Yeah. I guess sometimes you just can't help it. But here are career points.
Yeah, how about that?
Up to 3,000.
A wide open 3, she'll take it.
She'll take that, the 3 for 2,000. DeWolf, 3-time first-team All-Atlantic 10 when she played at Fordham. And thrust into the starting lineup here. She is from Maine, the state of Maine.
Coach Ivey talked about what she brings to this team with her leadership and her experience, that she's really vocal and has a high IQ.
Yeah, really relying on that experience. Westbeld banks it in.
I really like how poised Notre Dame has been. Nothing's been forced. Everything has just been in rhythm. They've been sharing the ball, just taking their best shot.
Coming off that loss to Syracuse, Pitt had a very difficult opener in the ACC, had to go into Blacksburg and play Virginia Tech. That was a travel call on Jordan. Jayla Jordan getting her 2nd start of the season tonight. Transfer from Seton Hall. Her dad, Gerald, played here at Pitt. But that's working beautifully. Westbeld with the nice pass inside to Marshall.
Westbeld actually is a very good passer in their offense. She's able to facilitate from that post spot and make good plays.
And another foul, this time on Notre Dame. Jordan will go to the line.
Great ball movement by Notre Dame, and you see the interior post-to-post passing, Westbeld to Marshall for the easy reverse underneath.
Being a good passer is something that really helps with this style of offense that Notre Dame plays.
It does. It's a very read and react, high IQ offense. So to be able to make plays and know when to do that, to have the pace, to have the tempo, to have the timing, it's all really important.
Yep, and Westbeld having her best season since her freshman year. She is a senior, but does have 1 year of eligibility left. Jordan goes 1 for 2 at the line, playing her first year at Pitt after stops at West Virginia, Auburn, and Seton Hall, where she played last year. That's tipped out of bounds. Irish hold on with 21 seconds to shoot.
I'd like to see Pitt be a little bit more disruptive on defense without losing position and giving anything easy, but got to chip away at the lead.
Coach Verdi has also gone to his bench to get Aislinn Malcolm in, number 20 in white, one of the 4 returning players. It's a good look at Coach Verdi, who spent his last 7 years at UMass and Amherst. And then inside, decided height advantage for Marshall.
Marshall, who's also been having herself a terrific year, just really asserting herself with her size. She's a hustle player. She's active defensively, but she can finish down low.
Career highs in points, rebounds, field goal percentage for Marshall, senior who went to Christ the King High School, which has produced some pretty good players along the way. Shemika Holslaw, Sue Bird, players.
A lot of talent coming out of there.
And right now, Notre Dame off to this blistering 21-3 start. They led 12-0, and a rebound taken down by Bransford. Notre Dame has made 8 straight shots, 9 of 10 overall. Certainly the start that Coach Ivey wanted. She talked about not having practice players this week because of the academic break, the semester break. She said we had to find the intensity within, and I think they have.
I think so too. Definitely the response you want to see coming off of a loss.
Power move. Marshall with a chance to get the rebound, and now Pitt comes away with it with Washenitz. Leads this team in assists. Shot is off the mark. Liatu King, by the way, getting back into defense. She's got the only field goal for Pitt in the first 6 minutes of this game, and there's a foul out on the perimeter.
Pitt's still having a hard time, obviously, getting some baskets to go in, but I do like the intention. You see that the offense is a lot different now than how they started. They're holding on to the ball, getting shots on goal, and playing inside. Everyone's putting the ball on the floor, trying to put pressure on the defense and get to the paint.
Tori Verdi saying he's trying to set expectations for this program that won only 10 games last year, went 3-15 in the ACC. Most of the players left the program. King sticking around and is one of the captains and the leading scorer on the team. Here's Washenitz. Nice pass, exactly where it needed to be to find Hutcherson.
That was a fantastic pass and a great finish. And, nice to see them get just something going. Get it inside, move the ball around, everybody touches it, and then find their, opportunities at the rim.
Westbeld left open. And a few misses for Notre Dame so far in this game.
Here you see Pitt controlling the tempo and the pace. Notre Dame got off to a fast start. That's what they like to do. They like to play up tempo and get in transition. So it's a Pitt's advantage to try to control that pace.
King fouled as she took the shot. Kylie Watson whistled for her first personal foul. And that will send Liatu King to the line. 7 double-doubles in her first 10 games, going to graduate in May, and is having a spectacular senior season. Sunday afternoon on the ACC Network, how about a quadruple header of women's basketball, starting with Virginia Tech and NC State. That should be a good one. Then Georgia Tech goes to Pitt, and then follow that up, Florida State, Clemson, cap it off with BC and Syracuse, all coming up Sunday on the ACC Network and on the app. Syracuse beat Notre Dame back on Sunday. Hidalgo already has 2 threes, make it 3, and she's saying, why didn't I get a chance for a 4-point play? Because there seemed to be contact.
Yeah, I think she had a pretty good case for one, too.
So Hidalgo with 11 points, Pitt with 6. Westbeld gets another rebound. They're doing a good job of keeping Pitt off the offensive glass. Maddie gets the roll.
I know I said it earlier, but they're just so comfortable, Notre Dame. They have to find a way, Pitt, to either extend some pressure full court, maybe. I know they're probably worried about Notre Dame getting behind them, but, Liatu King is going to get them going on the offensive end if they keep going to her, which they absolutely need to do, but they have to come up with some stops.
Washenitz doing Washenitz things, which is bothering the ball out by midcourt. Hidalgo looks back at Coach Ivey to get some instructions. And then just pulls it. That one was a little bit wide right.
Heat check.
Yes. That's the...
I will say Washenitz needs to be up on that screen on that switch.
That's the first 3 that Hidalgo has missed after hitting her first 3 from distance. Looks like King trying to take things into her own hands. Why not? She is, let's be honest, by far their best offensive weapon.
By far. And she's smart. She's undersized down low with Notre Dame's big, so she's taking them off the dribble and she's having success, and she has to keep doing that.
Marshall turned around and I think was shocked that she was that open. She took the shot and hit it. Matt Marshall now with 6 points since coming in off the bench. King calling for the basketball. But instead, Washington, who's not a very good shooter percentage-wise, in fact, just 25% on the season, missed it. Westbeld. And that's a foul on Marshall as she was hunting the rebound. Good job by Malcolm to get there first. And now 3 subs coming in for Pitt. Panthers a little bit more deep than the Irish, who only played 7 players in that loss to Syracuse. They only have 8 available, including former walk-on Sarah Cernugal, who was the only Irish player who didn't get in the game against Syracuse.
And with that depth, I expect them to really ramp it up on defense. You know, exhaust it, go all out, use all your energy. You know you got people that can come in for you, but smartly, you know, without getting beat. Need to put more pressure on Notre Dame.
Got a couple of freshmen in there. Jasmine Timerson, number 3. Number 1, Erin Battle. And she is going to handle the ball quite a bit now with Washington taking a break. Shot clock into single digits and a foul with 5 seconds left to go. Going to get a hold out on the perimeter on KK Bransford. That is the first on her.
I like that execution by that group, though. Just came in, about to close the quarter, settled, didn't get rattled, found a good position from Iodell, excuse me, on the block, and they get some free throws.
Coach Verdi getting a lot of his starters out to get a little extra rest as we go from quarter to quarter. Iodell, a junior from Spain, playing in her first year here at Pitt. And now the Irish can take the last shot of this quarter. Hidalgo with 11 points. Ball in her hands. Another 3, that's short. Brantford with the rebound. Bransford finally goes off a Pitt player, so 1.8 to go. Westbeld needs to shoot. Is the end of a first quarter that's absolutely dominated by Notre Dame. They shot 63% from the floor, including 3 threes for super freshman Hannah Hidalgo. She has 11 points. As they wait for Citron to get healthy. Hit her first 3 threes, has missed the last couple from out there. Michael Vogel wrote a terrific column that's on ESPN.com right now about Hidalgo and her journey. Some great insight from Coach Ivey on her young player. There's a floater, and the foul call is Battle, a freshman, another New Jersey kid, tried to attack the basket.
I like Battle's game. You know, she's aggressive, and I think that's what they need right now. Get good shots on goal, get into the paint, keep putting pressure on the defense, and get to the free throw line.
Becky Abinma called for her first foul for Notre Dame. Erin Battle, originally committed to go to UMass, committed to Coach Verdi. And then when Verdi made the move to accepted the Pitt job, Battle came with him. Now, after a made free throw, some pressure. The Irish shred that. Bransford can't come down with it cleanly, and now Pittsburgh has it. Notre Dame now has suddenly gone a bit cold from the field.
And Pitt doesn't want to give them wide open looks after that pressure, but it's successful. If they can get stops, you know, get a rebound, come down and score on the other end, then that's exactly what they're trying to accomplish.
That's happened with Aislinn Malcolm. Already with a career-high 8 double-digit scoring games this year. Second leading scorer behind King on the season. So of Virginia Tech, had 9 points.
Malcolm is really stepping into being a more consistent scorer this year. And especially in this game tonight, they're going to need some points from her.
Notre Dame has missed its last 6 shots from the floor after they got off to a blistering start. Bransford, King backs away. Pitt showing some zone here. The Wolf with the miss, and then a foul underneath against the Irish. And Kylie Watson, that's her second. And then Neil Ivey just looked over at one of the officials and said, "What for? What was the foul all about?" Let's see it. Right side of your screen. I thought that was a box out.
Yeah, could have been a no call.
Yeah.
But Pitt definitely finding some success with the Notre Dame misses, being able to rebound.
Yes, because Notre Dame has gone cold after getting off to a great start. They've not scored in the first couple minutes of this quarter. Shot clock is diminishing, and there's some of the stuff that King can do.
I mean, she's 100% from the floor. It's a no-brainer. Keep getting her the ball.
She has 9 of their points, 4 for 4 from the field. Contact and a charge call, and that's 2 on Hannah.
And that is a huge emphasis for this Pitt team. They think, as they know, defense is the key to the success, but the emphasis from Coach Verde is taking charges. He just loves it.
That is the 24th charge that they have taken in this, their 15th game of the season. Hidalgo with 2 fouls. She's staying out there. Not a lot of options for Coach Ivey off the bench, particularly for her. And King still hasn't missed.
She's really showing that she can do it all. She's been scoring inside. She hasn't quite stepped out to the 3, which I do hear that she can shoot the 3. She shoots them in practice, hasn't attempted one in a game in her career, but she's really having a solid game right now. And, you know, with the change in momentum right now, keep feeding it to her. Passing it out of the double team is Battle to King, who is still 100% from the floor, showing off a little bit of range.
Pitt is on an 8-0 run. That's the play they're looking at right now. As you saw, Marshall got an arm up on Iadel, so the officials will review that play as we head to break. Pitt on a bit of a run. They have cut this lead down to single digits.
UN Auto.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, where Nat Marshall has just been called for a personal foul that has been upgraded to an intentional foul. The officials, as John Capolino just came over, said that they thought this action you're about to see was unnecessary and excessive. Clothesline around the neck of
I can see that.
Iadel. So Pitt, after they were kind of steamrolled at the beginning of this game, making a nice comeback. Notre Dame has led, by as many as 20. It was 26-6 at one point, and for a team with a wafer-thin bench, this is not good news.
It isn't, and especially with how aggressive they played defensively, you know, something's got to give, or just play smart. Not pick up any thirds in this.
Especially quarter. Number 3.
Especially number 3.
Yeah. And so with the intentional foul, King heads to the free throw line for a couple. She has been absolutely perfect so far for Coach Verde in this game. King now with a dozen points. She has missed 1 free throw, so practically perfect in every way. But my goodness, they are outscoring Notre Dame 9-0 in this quarter.
And just the look on her face. She's just so calm and unrattled.
Yeah, that's what the Pitt people tell us. She's rather quiet, kind of growing into more of a vocal role. Coach Verde knew when he looked at film that number 2 that he would have to rely on King a lot, and she certainly has responded. Shot clock is dying. A nice pass inside to get the bucket for Iredell.
I love the patience. You know, they've been down in this game, but they took their time and really got it to the shot that they wanted. And that was a great feed from Jasmine to Iredell.
Another shot missed by Notre Dame. They're 0 for 4 from the floor in this quarter, whereas Pitt has hit all 4 of their shots.
Yeah, the game is settled. Pitt is hitting their shots. They also get to the free throw line. You know, Notre Dame doesn't have any free throws right now at this point.
Westbell coming up with the miss. Here's DeWolf, who got career point number 2,000 earlier in this game. Hidalgo gets it back to DeWolf. And now it's Notre Dame. They can't find the bottom of the basket. Oh my, and that might be Marshall's third.
Jasmine Timerson just with a thread the needle pass to Iredell down low. It's a beautiful play. Love the shot fake, the patience, the execution. Fantastic finish.
Oh, wow, that is indeed Nat Marshall's third personal foul. And so Becky Abinma, the 6'2" grad forward, last play at Pepperdine, comes back into the game. This plays silent when she goes to the free throw line. I've been in quiet gyms with players at the free throw line. It's silent.
They know it's going in.
So I think so does King. Pitt is only down 3. They trailed 26-6. So they've outscored them, what's that, 19-2?
Yeah.
Yuki?
Nope, not
No,
with the math.
you want a math major?
No. And Pitt has to have some confidence. They have to be proud of how they've been able to take that punch, come together as a team, and stick to what they're trying to do, which is defense first, and turn that into offense.
And look at the difference. Notre Dame has been shut out in the first 4 minutes plus of this quarter. This is a team that's averaging 89 points per game. That is 9th best in the entire nation. And now Hidalgo has to make something happen. Nope. Then the foul after the Obinma rebound. This should be the first trip to the free throw line for the Irish tonight, and it will be Obinma heading to the line where she has not taken a free throw all year. Coming up Saturday afternoon here on the ACC Network, our first men's basketball triple header of this new year, starting with Virginia, NC State, then it's Tech, Florida State, Duke, Notre Dame at 6 Eastern in South Bend. Check it out on the ACC Network. Really impressive for this Pitt team. You mentioned it. They're down 20. Nothing was falling, and that's kind of their coach certainly, I think, has instilled that in them, a no-quit kind of attitude, and they just kept playing, and their defense has gotten better. Oh, that's a drawn foul for DeWolf. Malcolm called for the offensive foul.
She threw it a little bit. I think AD definitely sold it. Yeah, extension is there.
That's good, but a nice little
embellishment. Yeah, you throw that head back.
Yeah.
You put the refs in a sticky situation.
Quite a soccer flop, but that was a good one. That's the first foul on Malcolm. Notre Dame has 1 point in this quarter, and we're midway through it. Westbell got off to a great start. King came over with the double. Lots of great hustle, and the Pitt bench is up on their feet, cheering them on.
As they should be. They've really gotten aggressive in defending the paint.
And Maddie Westbell got off to a great start in this game.
And Notre Dame they've gotten some good looks. But there you see, swiper.
And Liatu King with the great hustle from behind.
That is a great recovery play. She turned it over in the backcourt, but she made up for it with her effort and her hustle. Hidalgo's definitely going to get her hands on a lot of balls, but King chases her down for the block.
And another whistle on the inbounds, and that's something that's just great hustle. Right, you mentioned the turnover, a lot of players would give up on it, not her.
Nope. And I mean, she's top 5 in the ACC in that category for a reason.
She's top 5 in a lot of categories in the ACC, you're right, including blocks. Leading this team in that statistic, as well as points, rebounds, field goal percentage, double-doubles, you name it. It's been a Liatu King kind of year.
Part of the success Pitt is having, Coach Verde said he wanted to get Notre Dame in the half court, and that's what they've been able to do. They stopped the easy transition buckets. They stopped turning it over, but there you see they've had 2 now back-to-back. But that has been a success area for Pitt in their game plan.
Yes, and Notre Dame struggling a bit in their half-court offense since late in the first quarter. Westbeld finally gets one to go in. First field goal of the quarter for the Irish.
And that's one thing I like about her in their offense. I feel like she is settling. When they need a basket, when they need to execute and get something good, they know they can go to her.
Yeah, settling them down.
Yes.
Not settling for something negative. Yes. Exactly. Settling in the best possible way. That's Maddie Westbeld. And another turnover gives the ball back over to the Irish. Maddie Westbeld, second team All ACC last year, and her numbers are up this season.
And this is a time, I feel, when you have, like, Pitt 3 young guards in right now. I want to say it's 2 freshmen and a sophomore. You have those turnovers. You know, they have momentum. They're doing some good things, but they need that guard to just bring them together and keep them composed.
Pitt with 9 turnovers so far. Notre Dame with just 3. Hidalgo. Westbeld had to go up for it. Step back a little bit. Rebound goes off the hands of a Pitt Panther, it looked like.
I believe that'll be Notre Dame's ball.
And it is. Carla Fountain, Timothy Bryant, John Capolino, our officials this evening in Pittsburgh. Westbeld, nice out-of-bounds play.
That's the second time Westbeld has been able to get to that sweet spot in the interior of that defense. I'm sure Pitt's going to want to talk about that.
Maddie joins Hidalgo in double figures. Timerson in battle, 2 of the freshmen right there out on the perimeter for Pitt. Knocked out by Westbeld, 9 seconds to shoot.
You know, this zone defense by Notre Dame really gets Pitt just kind of passing the ball around the perimeter. They're going to have to find a way to make sure they still get inside and out, whether it's off the penetration or off the pass to that high post if they can get it to King.
Timerson drove into traffic and drew the foul. That's the true freshman.
I like that decision, though. Shot clock running down, didn't settle for an outside shot. Got to the paint and made something happen.
That's the second on Obinba for the Irish. Pitt doing a good job getting to the free throw line. Timerson is from Wexford, Pennsylvania, about 15 miles north of campus. Committed to the previous coaching staff. Lance White was the head coach and honored that commitment when Coach Verde came on board.
I believe she also has a stepdad that works here at Pitt.
Got that connection, stayed close to home to play college ball. Big free throw difference. Westbeld knocked away. Pitt doing a good job of collapsing in on Westbeld when they try to get it inside. Possession arrow pointing towards the Irish.
And Pitt did some of that against Virginia Tech with Elizabeth Kitley down low, being able to double and crowd her. So they had good prep coming into this game on how to handle the inside game.
Yeah, Kitley with that exceptional size for Virginia Tech. DeWolf knocks down the three.
I think that corner three is her spot.
Yep, that's her second three, including one that got her to 2,000 career points. King, extra pass inside, and it rolls around the rim and goes in. Idell's giving them some good minutes off the bench.
She really is, and she's a terrific rebounder. Usually she has a knack for those rebounds, but she's doing a good job finishing and doing some good stuff inside.
Second only to King on Pitt for rebounds. Westbeld, you could, with that pose, she knew it was going in, right?
I mean,
felt good going off the hand.
When she lined it up, it looked good from here too.
Maddie Westbeld gets it to fall. Extends the lead back up to 11. DeWolf hustles for it, but was beaten to it. Yeah, I tell you, these Pitt kids are playing hard. Battled, and got it.
They are playing hard, as they should. You know, that's been the emphasis here, is changing the culture to a winning mindset, believing in each other, playing tough, and they're showing that.
The Wolf passed up the three and took a step. Jayla Jordan coming back in for Pitt. Coach Verdi doing a good job of trying to keep his players fresh out there. As we approach a minute to go in the half. King left open as DeWolf vacated the area, and that's a very rare miss for King.
Yeah, she's now missed 2 of those there, but I like that shot for her, and she needs to keep taking it.
Called palming the basketball?
Yeah.
You don't see that called very often.
You don't.
Happens more than it's called.
Yeah.
But they got Hidalgo for that. And Hidalgo, if you're just joining us, got off to a torrid start. She has 11 points. Hit her first 3 threes, but has missed her last 3. Timerson all the way across the court. That's a chancy pass. Ball picked up by Obinma. And now DeWolf settling things down before she gets it over to Hidalgo, who gets a play call from Coach Ivy. Mikhail Mabry also up off the bench.
You haven't seen Hannah too aggressive to score in this quarter, so I wouldn't be surprised if she takes this last one, her or Maddie.
So the first quarter belonged to Notre Dame. They had a 20-point lead at one point.
Certainly expect to see Hannah be more aggressive, for Maddie to continue doing what she's doing, and excited for this second half.
Yeah, certainly. Pittsburgh is a team that has lost 5 straight games in this series to Notre Dame. The last time Pitt beat Notre Dame, March 2020, first round of the ACC, Daishanette Harris hit a shot with about a second and a half left in what turned out to be Muffet McGraw's last game as the head coach.
Yeah, you were determined to bring that one up. I was going to leave it alone.
That was her last season, and yep, and that's the last time Pitt beat them. Sorry, Muffet, but it's true.
Muffet got the statue out of it.
That's right.
I can't wait to get a chance to go see
that.
that
This weekend. I can't wait to see that much-deserved statue for the legendary Muffet McGraw out there at Notre Dame. And I was talking to Neil Ivey before the game, and how great she was in that 2001 championship team. Her first words were, "Well, I had a great coach." Great teammates, too, as well. And her first national championship at Notre Dame. And there's another whistle. Is that on Westbeld?
Yes.
Okay, foul trouble. That's only the second on Maddie, but a couple of players. Marshall has 3 fouls.
Yeah, you see her kind of get that knee into King.
So that's a couple now on Westbeld. Number 2 in white, Liatu King. Off the mark on that shot.
Good effort by Idell. She's good on the glass.
Idell really gave them some nice minutes, scoring 6 points off the bench in the first half.
Her hustle, not giving up on that play, gives them another possession.
Battle knocks it in, and Erin Battle being rewarded for some good minutes herself in the first half gets a start here.
Yeah, as of late, she's been playing very well, and Maddie Westbeld with a high post jumper. But yeah, Erin Battle has done a great job this season, just improving game by game. She does have a great mid-range, and she's just aggressive. She's a point guard, and here you see her getting more minutes today at the point guard spot with Washenitz on the bench.
Right, she's getting the start in the second half at the point for Washenitz, who only took one shot and didn't score in the first half. That's a rainbow three that just was a little bit too strong for Malcolm. Now Westbeld couldn't get the shot off, and the ball goes over to Pitt.
And Pitt lucky that did not go down. Oh, you know, Hannah mad at herself. That was a wide open three, a good shot for her to take, but just a miscommunication in transition by Pitt to give that open three up.
Yeah, that's the person you don't want to give up an open 3-2. Hannah with 11 points, again, all of them coming in the first quarter.
Yeah, she definitely won't miss the next one.
And that's always certainly her mentality, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of confidence for the true freshman. Here's King. And another foul on Notre Dame. This one on Watson.
That's intentional, though. Pitt getting King the ball in space so that she can use her quickness against the size of Notre Dame.
All right, so now Watson has picked up 3 fouls. King just absolutely buries it.
And it's contested. You know, she's getting herself some space to get the shot off, but they can't close out too far on her or she'll go around them. So, you know, she's really a mismatch problem.
And a lot of weapons in her arsenal. Westbeld shot over King. Bransford got it blocked by Malcolm.
A lot of contact down there, I would say.
I think Coach Ivey would agree with you. Malcolm will give and go, gets it back. Step back three, that is just a little short for Battle, and yet another whistle. This time it's called against Iredell. And that is a third on her. See, Pitt has yet to hit a three tonight. Not a big part of their offensive arsenal. And as you mentioned, their offensive star, Liatu King, has taken 0 threes in her entire career, and here she is a senior.
Yeah, capable, but just, you know, hasn't found that rhythm or confidence to take it in the game.
Marshall left wide open. King gets another rebound.
Haven't seen too much of Marshall with that foul trouble, so looking to see her have an impact on this game pretty quickly.
Only 7.5 minutes in the first half because of 3 fouls for Marshall. Nobody but Hidalgo underneath, and that's one thing that Coach Verdi talked about, sending back what he calls 3 safeties, always to try to stop Notre Dame's transition after Pitt takes a shot. And there was a stretch in the first quarter where Notre Dame's transition was working, but since then they've done a pretty good job shutting it down.
Yeah, they have, and you know, it mainly, I would say, it's due to taking care of the ball. You know, they had some turnovers early that just kind of led to some easy points, but you know, Coach Verdi talked about the rebounding margin by Notre Dame and how they're out rebounding their opponents. So for them, he's like, you know, we're not going to get too many offensive rebounds. We're going to get back.
Yep, and right now the rebounding is dead even. Notre Dame has 4 more offensive rebounds, but it turned those 4 offensive rebounds only into 3 points. In second half shooting, neither team shooting well. Notre Dame has made just 1 field goal in this quarter. Pitt just 2 of 6. King getting it up, and that's a kicked ball. Possession stays with Pitt.
I'm glad she got it out, though, because yeah, Hidalgo was coming.
Yep. Hidalgo just 4 of 10 from the floor in this game, coming off a career-high 32 in the loss to Syracuse on Sunday. Malcolm, in and out.
That was her best look at it, though, and she is a very good three-point shooter, so Notre Dame won't want to leave her open too much.
Back leads the ACC in three-point shooting. 43%. The Wolf left it short. True freshman battle, running the point here in the second half. Gets it to another newbie in Timerson, who puts it home.
I love the little hezzy change of pace to just get herself to the rim. It's a great take.
Yes, it was. And Niele Ivey calls a timeout. Pittsburgh is within 5.
Freshman Jasmine Timerson, the hezzy change of pace, sidestep, finish at the rim, and Pitt has themselves in a ball game.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Pitt.
Missed its last 6 shots. They came out of the gates on fire. At one point led 26-6, and as you can see, since that first quarter, Pitt has really picked things up, and they're only down 5.
Yeah, you know, I think Notre Dame's fallen a little flat, but I feel like they can get some momentum from their energy. You know, extend some pressure, maybe force some turnovers, get back out in transition, kind of force that energy to come back.
Yeah, usually points off turnovers is such a big part of their game. They do have 12 points off turnovers in this game, but they're being outscored in the paint, on the bench. And you see Pitt in that zone. Bransford, too much on the 3. King.
And you know, not really getting the threes to fall this year so far, Bransford. So is that really the shot that Notre Dame wants to see? You want her to be confident. You want her to take it when she's open, but they really need to get something back to their offensive flow.
That's right, Bransford 0 for 2 from 3. That means for the season, she's 2 for 15, which is below 15%. She was at 15% when she came in. Let's take another break. Still 41-36 Irish. Right now they are 16th in the rankings. No one has more teams in the top 25 than the ACC. They have 6 of them right now, and some intriguing games going on right now. And Florida State and NC State in a 3-point ball game right now down in Raleigh. And after us on the ACC network, we have Duke and Louisville. And again, what we just saw the shot before, Maddie Westbeld, so much talent on the bench hurt for Notre Dame. They were down 3 starters. And a game like this, yeah, there's Sonja Citron on the right, Olivia Miles with the glasses between them, Cassandra Prosper. That's not her, but Cassandra's on the bench farther down, so that's the 3 starters that are out. Westbeld with a great catch to keep things going, but I'll tell you, that Pitt defense underneath, they have just been terrific.
Yeah, they are definitely locked in to really protecting that paint. They're having success with it. And, you know, just talking about the ACC teams in the top 25, it really speaks to every night, each team having to bring their best game. You know, Pitt has a hard test on the road at Virginia Tech where they, you know, get blown out and they turn around and respond on their home floor with keeping this game close.
They lost by 50 on Sunday at Virginia Tech. They shot 29% from the floor. Virginia Tech 52%, and Tech made 14 threes in that game. And they were down by 20 in the first quarter here. And there you see it. They've lost. They've done well at home, pardon me, the 4-game home winning streak. King in the top 5 in several categories in the ACC, has the ball now and hits it.
And you got to notice they take the shot clock down to under 10 before they score almost every possession.
And that's smart, right?
It's absolutely smart.
Oh.
Malcolm finds King at the high post with the shot clock running down, and she just drains the jumper. She has been so great for them tonight.
Calmly elevates. King was just called for her second foul. Westbeld with the miss. And now Pitt has a chance tie this game up on this trip, and there's another foul against the Irish.
Freshman Jasmine Timerson is really doing a good job today, just, you know, playing solid and steady, making good decisions. She's done a good job in both halves of getting to the paint and getting to the free throw line.
That is 3 personal fouls now on Hidalgo. Timerson at the line.
This is a good test for them, though. You know, not sure how long they will be without that depth. So to learn to play in some foul trouble, to be able to close out a game and win.
And another foul against Marshall. That will be her 4th. So Marshall goes out. Watson comes in. Watson has 3 fouls. Look at the box out.
Jayla Jordan just goes up and gets it and puts the pressure on the ref to make that call.
And the ref did. Look at that foul trouble for Notre Dame. Again, just 7. With that 8 players available, including Cernugal, the former walk-on, was put on scholarship last August. We have not seen her in the game. Another tip ball, and here come the Panthers. They can tie or take the lead. Watson with a good block on the baseline, and no, a foul call behind the play. Maddie Westbeld now has 3. Liatu King back at the free throw line.
I mean, great defense by Watson to not pick up a foul there, but then Westbeld gets called just for the loose ball foul, trying to chase it out of bounds and makes contact with King.
Well, Pittsburgh has not hit a 3 in this game. They're 0 for 5 from distance. Now 11 of 17 from the free throw line. Notre Dame just 1 for 2 for the game in free throws. Hidalgo goes into traffic and King rejects it.
I do want to see her get aggressive. You know, maybe that play wasn't it. Great defensive play by King, but I would like to see Hannah be a little bit more aggressive. She gets in the seams, but King just makes a great help side play with that block.
That is the 3rd block of the game for King. Liatu King right now, just talk about, I know it's a little bit early to talk about postseason awards. Most improved.
Oh,
she is certainly up there, right?
Yeah, she's definitely making a great case for that.
She has had quite a ball game tonight. And another empty possession for the Irish. Pitt on a 7-0 run.
It's interesting how Pitt sets some of these ball screens. If you see, they actually have their back to the half-court line.
Westbeld seems to be a little shaken up.
It's 4 on Westbeld.
Wow, 4 on Westbeld. So Westbeld has 4 fouls. And Talia Marshall, Nat has 4 herself, and she has to come back in. It's desperation time right now. I mean, there's still over 12 minutes left in this game. King goes right back to the free throw line. Westbeld being looked at by veteran trainer Ann Marquez over there. King gets them both. First tie of the game since it was 0-0, Jazz Thomas.
Pitt has been persistent. You got to give them that. They have weathered every storm and really got themselves into this ball game with their energy, their effort, their confidence, making plays. And there is a great heads-up play by KK, hopefully to give this Notre Dame team some momentum.
That's Branford's first basket of the night, and that broke a run where Notre Dame missed 10 straight shots from the floor. So they go back on top. just joining us, they led at one point by 20 points. With 2.5 to go in the first quarter, but these Panthers are not going anywhere.
They're not. They're putting their heads down. They're getting in the paint. They recognize the refs are whoo-hoo, but that take by Hidalgo, I would love to see her come alive right now.
Yeah, there's the Hidalgo that we have been seeing all year, countering the Jordan basket, but that's the first points for Hidalgo since the first quarter.
And I see the energy, though.
King wants to match it. Liatu King with a chance at a three-point play.
And the quiet King showing some emotion, and she should after this take. Hidalgo is coming for it. She has the spin in between two long defenders and finishes with the left and talks that talk, as she should.
Absolutely, and with that foul, Nat Marshall is out of the game. She has just picked up her 5th personal foul. Marshall, who averages 9 points and 5 rebounds this season, leaves with 6 points and just 1 board. Obinma comes in for Marshall. Pittsburgh leads for the first time tonight. King completes the three-point play. But then Notre Dame counters with Anna DeWolf, her first points of the second half.
And you notice that back-to-back success with guard dribble penetration to the rim. I expect to see them continue to do some of that.
Especially now Westbeld is out. She has 4 personals, was shaken up. Still being looked at the end of the bench. Rebound by Obinma. Here's Hidalgo. Dribbled into trouble and lost it, but then got a hand on it. Redemption? No, not that time for Hidalgo. A tie-up. Possession arrow goes Pittsburgh's way. What a comeback for Tori Verdi's team. First-year head coach after 7 years at the University of Massachusetts. Waning seconds, Pitt gonna try to get the last shot.
Yeah, mismatch here with Watson on the point guard.
4.8 seconds left to go. And a timeout taken by Coach Verdi to try to draw something up. And meanwhile, Maddie Westbeld continues to sit at the end of the bench and get attention from the athletic trainer. We'll take a quick timeout and come back for the conclusion of the third quarter.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. And get access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, where the Panthers going to try to retake the lead, inbounding the ball with 4.8 seconds left to go. Liatu King might be a good option.
I absolutely think that's a good option.
Thank you.
I don't know if it was just in transition, but at the end of that possession before the timeout, they had a mismatch with Watson guarding the point guard, guarding Battle. He's also been good today, so maybe putting both of them in action.
How about that? She has as many field goals as the rest of her teammates combined, plus 2 more points. What a game for the senior out of Washington, D.C. Look at a little practice shooting motion, too.
I would love to get to see her take her first career 3.
How about that? That would be quite a way to end the quarter. Battle with the inbound. Instead, they go the opposite way and draw a foul. Obinma going for the block, instead picks up the foul.
It's a great play. Little misdirection action, both screens at the top, and they find Jasmine Timerson coming in on that backside block, and she takes the contact and gets herself to the line again.
And now Obinma has 3 personal fouls. Marshall's already fouled out. Westfield has 4. Marshall, Obinma, and Hidalgo all with 3 for the Irish. Timerson, the true freshman, getting them both. Hidalgo off the mark. And they lost freshman Emma Risch for the rest of the year. She had hip surgery today. And Cassandra Prosper, who is an 8-point-per-game player, is out with a foot injury. Her foot's in a boot, never a good thing to see. So, Neil Abbey's team very shorthanded. They have foul trouble in this game, and concern certainly for Westfield over there on the bench.
And you can see it matters. You know, Pitt has 19 points from their bench today.
They've gotten great contributions from the freshmen. There's one of them, Erin Battle, one of the true freshmen who was rewarded for a great first half coming off the bench. She has started here in the second half and has played point the whole way. Notre Dame counters with the basket.
I'm pretty sure I remember Pitt working on that play and shoot around today. And I remember Coach Verdi stopping it and telling them they weren't running it fast enough with hard enough tempo and that they were going to score on it today. Erin Battle, after the handoff, she just comes off the back screen, and they find her with a great pass for the layup.
Some great celebrations there on the bench for first-year head coach Tori Verdi, trying to pull off this upset against number 16 Notre Dame.
And you love to see that. There's some players over there on that bench that typically play a lot more minutes than they're playing tonight, and to see them that into it and enthusiastic and excited for their teammates, I just love it.
Yeah, including, that's a great point, number 0, Gabby Hutcherson. She was the one who had the highest vertical in the celebration. She's a starter but hasn't played a whole lot tonight. They are all engaged and hoping to pull off this upset. With no Maddie Westfeld, she's on the bench. Nat Marshall has fouled out, and with 2.8 seconds left on the shot clock, here's a foul against Pitt.
Hannah just putting her head down and making something happen. But the offense for Notre Dame has really just gotten pretty stagnant. The ball's not moving. They're not getting the assists that they were getting. They're not getting the actions to be as successful as they were in the first half or in the first quarter even.
Yeah.
We did talk about that a lot of that was transition and, you know, just having the game settle in. But this is a challenge for them in this fourth quarter and just in this game to be able to execute in the half court.
Last foul was on Jordan, and Hidalgo got a couple of free throws, which is a headline in and of itself. That's only the second trip to the free throw line for any Notre Dame player in this game.
But you see her vocal. You know, Hannah is clapping and talking and trying to hype up her teammates, but they are going to have to slow down and stop King if they want to come out of here with a win.
Pardon me, they have not been able to do that in this game. But then Hidalgo comes back on the other end.
She's been quiet today, but now would be a great time for her to get hot, and you can see it in her eyes just how she is as a player, that she's going to put this team on her back
Here she
and
goes.
come away with the steal, doing what she does best, and finish on the other end.
That is classic Hannah Hidalgo. A couple of free throws, getting aggressive now. You see how fiery she is with a let's go, and that's it. The steal and the bucket, timeout Pitt.
That's what she does. The team feeds off of her energy, off of her competitiveness, off of these types of plays. She gets these possessions for her team, and right now she gets to turn it around for Notre Dame in the fourth.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is...
Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. And boy, what a game this has been. Notre Dame got out to a 20-point lead of 26-6. And since then, The Pitt Panthers, in large part, we talked about Liatu King coming into this game, and goodness, has she delivered her 8th double-double of the season and going.
She has beyond delivered. Notre Dame has not really found an answer for her on the defensive end. She's been able to score it wherever she gets it. She also has 3 blocks. You know, she's just done a lot of everything.
Just about everything. She literally has half of their made field goals, half of their made free throws, 12 rebounds. The next closest is Hidalgo with 6. 26 points. She had a career-high 30 against Northern Kentucky around Thanksgiving time. And she is a senior, one of the, again, only 4 returners who came back with this new coaching staff. A lot put on her shoulders, and she's really responded. Pitt taking a timeout after a nice little Hannah Hidalgo run. Oops, almost got another one.
Who has been quiet for most of this game, but she has 19.
Yeah, 11 in the first quarter, and since then, Hidalgo didn't score at all in the second quarter, at a quiet third quarter, but can really turn things up. AK Bransford, just her second. And during that last timeout, Coach Ivey reminded her bench, her team, her players on the bench, no more fouls, because we don't have any more players.
She'll have to sub in.
Yeah. Do you have any more eligibility left? Already shorthanded with injury, and it doesn't appear that Maddie Westfeld's going to come back into the game.
I like the change in the, and there's Coach Ivey right now. Don't foul. Straight up. We cannot foul. We do not have anyone to put in for you.
Yes. And always a good reminder. Liatu King, go to work tonight.
She is truly impressive. She has showed that she can score in so many different ways and finish with both hands. She is just having herself a game.
And Notre Dame knows she's by far their biggest threat, and they still can't stop her.
They can't foul her, so that's to her advantage right now. Stay aggressive. Keep attacking.
Hidalgo misses. Good rebound by Watson, who goes right back up with it. The first points of the game for Kylie Watson, and she'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And keep an eye on Hannah. She is firing them up. Now is a better time than any. Here you see Liatu King driving with the right, spin back to the left. I think we saw something like that earlier, too. She is just giving us all the moves.
Watson gets a 3-point play, averaging a career-high 7.5 points per game this season. She has some foul trouble herself tonight and has just scored her first points to get the game back up to a 4-point advantage. But yeah, that's a good point. When Notre Dame's saying don't foul anybody and King has the ball, that's big-time advantage Pitt, but that's a travel that gives the ball back over to Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame needs to use it on the other end. The refs have shown in this game that if players play physical, if they put their head down and put pressure on the defense to get to the rim, that they will call the foul. So coming down here toward the late minutes of this game, they need to look to be aggressive to the paint.
Notre Dame now up to 6 steals. They average the ridiculous 13.6 during the regular season. Over 6 per game average by Hidalgo. Little step back 3, got it! Hidalgo coming up big in these big situations when her team got down here in the 4th.
Absolutely, I don't doubt that she will, and this is a good test for her and for this Notre Dame team to be able to win all kinds of games. You know, there's a lot of time left. You know, this still could go either way, but I like their response to how this game is going.
22 points now for Hidalgo, but then another basket for Hidalgo. Hidalgo hits the deck.
Refuses the screen, a little shimmy and shake, and steps back, and the freshman phenom drains the 3.
Just so much confidence, and it's funny talking to Coach Ivey today at shoot-around. She said that, but she loves it on the court. You see the fiery, you know, the let's go, the great personality. And she says when she's off the court, she's like the nicest, quietest kid. Just totally can flip a switch when she gets on the court.
I'm not surprised by that. You know, that makes her a great teammate. Makes her, I would imagine, fun to play with.
She certainly is fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Boy, she and Juju Watkins, the other great freshman at USC, two of the top scorers in the country, are true freshmen.
Yeah, what they have been doing this season has definitely been impressive and fun to watch, showing you just how much the game's evolving. As Liatu King gets another drive to the basket and finish, she is just on fire.
Wow, with that basket, King has tied her career high of 30 points that she had back in November.
And she still's got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, plenty of time for her. She is over half of Pitt's points tonight. Now shot clock winding down for Hidalgo. Watson with the high screen. Knocked away. Hidalgo recovered, but then couldn't draw iron. Good defense there by Pitt just to knock it away. Pitt, as you see, making 4 of their last 5. Both teams shooting well here in the fourth quarter. Pitt actually with a higher shooting percentage for the game than the Irish, who are 10th in the country, or were 10th in the country in field goal percentage coming into this one. Off the rim, and the ball stays here. Another Irish foul.
Irish foul, number 22, Kylie Watson, number 4.
That's the 4th on Watson. Non-shooting foul, so the freshman Timerson inbounds. Pitt has not made a 3 tonight, and a big bucket for Timerson.
Jasmine Timerson has really played well tonight.
She has earned herself a lot more playing time, hasn't she?
She really has. She's been vocal, she's been confident, she's made terrific decisions. She's gotten to the basket, free throw line, everything.
And they've gotten it back down to a 1-possession game. Timeout Notre Dame. The Pitt Panthers only down by 3 with just over 4 minutes to go. Pittsburgh Panthers trying to pull off what would be their biggest upset since January of 2015 when they beat North Carolina. America, say hello to Liatu King.
She is definitely making herself known. She is showing you that she can score the ball in so many ways. Off the dribble, shoot the mid-range, give you a little spin and finish with the left in between 2 defenders. She has just been so fun to watch, and she's been steady all game. It's been consistent.
She has 8 20-point games and as many points as the rest of her team, as many field goals as the rest of the team. The 8 20-point games, the most for a Pitt player since the 08-09 season. You might recall Shavante Zealous.
Hey, Z,
doing
that's
some
my
things.
girl. Yeah, I remember playing against Z at the Garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's great company for King to be in. Zealous, one of the all-time greats here at this program, had a nice long career in the W.
Yep. And I will tell you that Z is a dog. So King is definitely making Z proud right now, the way that she has shown up in this big-time game.
What a game for King. So after the timeout, let's see what Notre Dame does. DeWolf with the inbound. Ransford open just for a moment. They draw it up for DeWolf. Big 3.
And DeWolf is 3 for 3 of corner threes.
That
has been her spot, that left corner 3.
Including one earlier in the game. Her first shot of the game went in for her 2000th career point. And most importantly, it doubles the lead. Kick out. Pitt still does not have a 3 made today as Timerson missed. Now Notre Dame slowing it down just a little bit.
They'll definitely want to try to manage this clock, and they haven't had the best flow of offense in this game, but it's winning time.
Wow, Bransford with a good look to Watson, who got fouled. And we reiterate that Maddie Westfeld has not been available here in the fourth quarter.
Hidalgo gets to the high post to KK Bransford, who finds DeWolf, who has been hot from the corner 3 in this game, and she knocks it down.
4th foul on King for Pitt. Sends Watson to the line. Anna DeWolf again in her first year at Notre Dame after 4 seasons at Fordham, where she was 3rd in points scored, 2nd in threes made, as that was a huge 3 for her. And Watson gets them both.
I like to think that offensive possession was intentional for Notre Dame. Like I said, the refs have been calling it inside. It's been a physical game down there. So as long as they stay aggressive to the paint, they'll get those calls.
So after Watson gets those 2 free throws, Pitt calls a timeout as the lead has gone to 8. So Hannah Hidalgo got off to such a great start in this game. We mentioned the 3 threes in the first quarter, 11 points, and got kind of quiet, and now her game's noisy again when they need it most.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that she shifted the momentum of this game. When they needed her most, she got some steals, she got some points in the paint. She, really just kind of took over the game for a little bit and really changed the momentum for this Notre Dame team. And they're going to need her to continue to do that in these last 3 minutes. Make good decisions, win the score, win to get her teammates involved, and kind of dictate the types of shots that Notre Dame is getting. Yeah, she said, hey, first quarter, I'm going to show up, I'm going to show out, and I'm going to close it too.
Yeah, she certainly has done just that. 11 points in the first, 11 points in the first 7 minutes of this 4th quarter. After Pitt came back from a 20-point deficit to take a 1-point lead a couple of times in this game. And another foul on Notre Dame, drawn by Battle. Only the first on Anna DeWolf, so if anybody's going to foul, that's the player to do it.
Just been that kind of game for Notre Dame.
Nat Marshall is already fouled out. Hidalgo's been playing with 3 for a while.
KK Bransford face guarding Liatu King right now. And he still almost thread the needle and get a pass to her. I believe it was off of King, but
originally the officials were pointing Pitt's way, but yeah, that's one of the few times that King has not gobbled up the ball and done something with it tonight. And now Hidalgo with some pressure in the backcourt by the freshman Timerson and Battle. Directing some traffic. DeWolf is wide open on the other side in the corner, was yelling for it, but they didn't get it to her. And the ball goes over to the Panthers.
Definitely a pass that KK Bransford needs to see and be able to make. She just hit a 3, DeWolf, so to be able to go back to her at this point in the game and get another open look instead of coming up empty.
Notre Dame has outscored Pitt by 9 in this quarter. Here's King. They haven't been able to stop her. She hits the deck and scores!
Oh,
seated!
No way. I'm not sure if she got away with the travel there or not exactly, but, I mean, everything is just going in for Liatu King tonight.
What a bucket. In and out for DeWolf. Big rebound by Bransford, who doesn't pull it out and gets fouled. So what a way for Liatu King to get a new career high.
Oh, that's a trick shot. She looked like she practiced that. And she didn't travel. When she lost her footing, she lost the ball, so she actually didn't have it in her hand. And she just makes a heads-up play.
Just sit down on the court making a bucket. Wow. Now Bransford at the line after Jordan picked up her 3rd foul for Pitt. Big free throws. Notre Dame not getting to the line much at all until this 4th quarter. For the game, they're 10 for 11 in free throws. Lead goes back to 8. King cuts to the basket, and there's a kick. So a break for Pitt, at least shot clock wise, as it goes back to 20. King inbounds it. Wolf knocks it out to knock another second off the clock. This is a Pitt team that won just 3 ACC games all year.
And the time is on Notre Dame's side, so Pitt will need to get a quick score here.
3 ACC wins all of last year. And giving Notre Dame all they can handle tonight. Another whistle and another foul on Hidalgo. That is her 4th.
Irish foul number 3, and Hidalgo, her 4th. The 5th against Notre Dame. To the line for the Panthers, number 1, Aaron Battle.
24 for Hidalgo, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. It'll be interesting to see what Torrey Verdi does with his starting lineup in Pitt's next game, which is Georgia Tech on Sunday, because he likes to reward players. He has a point system. If he likes what players do in practice, he likes to reward them with certainly more playing time, and we've seen these 2 freshman guards getting pretty much all the time here in the second half.
Yeah, and big free throws by Battle here to keep this a 2-possession game with just over a minute left.
So Notre Dame takes a timeout. Pittsburgh out of timeouts. Notre Dame has gone almost 3 minutes without hitting a shot from the floor, but they have hit their free throws. So Pittsburgh in the beginning a 3-game homestand tonight. They have Georgia Tech and Louisville after that before they hit the road. That's kind of 3 of their first 4 games. They start with Virginia Tech, then they have Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and then Louisville to start things off in the ACC. And we will see Notre Dame on Sunday when they host North Carolina at 5 Eastern Time on ESPN2. North Carolina tonight blew open a game. They have upset Syracuse tonight, the Tar Heels, in a game that had been close at the half. So here we go as we approach a minute left.
Notre Dame looking to exploit that mismatch down low, I think, and KK just over dribbles and gets herself caught in a sticky situation.
Yeah, she did, right? She dribbled into trouble, picked up her dribble, and very fortunate for Notre Dame that another foul was called on Pitt. Second on Battle, pardon me.
A decision-making growth area for KK. She's been in a position that, I guess, with Westbeld out in this half, where she's got the ball around the free throw line and had to make some decisions. And, you know, you can tell she's learning and she's growing in where to get the ball to.
That is the first free throw miss of this quarter for Notre Dame. King, triple teamed. Malcolm just ticked off the rim. King with another rebound and another putback.
Malcolm not really able to find a rhythm in this game, and King just with the heads-up play, knowing that it might be coming off, just hung around, got the O-boards, fought for it, and finished it.
King with 34, so over half of Pitt's points. Right now not electing to foul. Hidalgo is more than content to take some time off the clock. Kicks it out to Wolf, could salt this away. Pitt gets the ball up. Good no foul by Abinba. And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish will hang on and survive, winning 71-66. They led by 20. Pitt came